and welcome everybody to FKA the Pod this week. My name is Seth Butler, and I'm your host, I guess, this week, and I'm joined also by Reed Wilson.
Who's also your host, I guess, this week. As we're back on another two-man show, two-man front out here, as Trent's still gallivanting around the U.S. of A. Just stopped off in Chicago, hung out for a couple days. Maybe you'll hear a tidbit or two of these stories that we had this weekend. But first of order of business, you got any booze to drink?
I do have some boozes. Yeah, I've got obviously I guess maybe we should call it the Trent Tatum Memorial Shot because like from the listener's point of view, we lost a couple episodes a couple weeks ago, and then Trent wasn't on the episodes last week, and he's not going to be on the next couple episodes. So
It's been like 6
um,
episodes since Trent.
yeah,
You know what? I also have a memorial shot for Trent, so that's good.
that's good. Yeah, mine is the bleach bottle vodka, which I
I
have, and I also have a Rolling Rock this evening.
Nice. Love a Rolling Rock.
I do.
Or I say we because I'm not excluded. I got a Fireball shooter, cinnamon whiskey alternative, whiskey with natural cinnamon flavor. Memorial shot for Trent and Ryan. We'll lump them in together. And I got a Monaco. Hello and welcome back to FK the Pod, depending on how we edit this shit. We're back with another hater, Seth and I, on a two-man show. If you might have said that before, maybe not. But we both got memorial shots for Trent and Orion. Whoever we want to give them to. He's got a Rolling Rock. I got some Monacos as well. And Monacos are like pre-made mixy drinks. This one tastes like cream soda, and it tastes a lot like cream soda. It basically tastes like alcoholic Faygo.
Is Faygo a Midwest thing?
And it's an ICP thing.
They're Midwest, right?
Insane Clown Posse. You know, Gigolos. They're really white. I don't know if they're Midwest. I know they're just super white. It's like Faygo is like really cheap.
Okay.
Knockoff pop. It's Aldi brand knockoff, Walmart brand knockoff. Like it's that many tiers down. It's down there. It tastes like it, but it's also super sweet and real weird. But speaking of real weird, well, we'll talk about the Met Gala. You haven't heard enough about it yet. We'll talk about some other stuff. We got a whole document full of things.
Yeah, it's going to be hot, and I'm going to take this shot real quick.
One.
So cheers, everybody. Looking forward to another couple of good pods here.
Let's go. And then, so Trent came through this past weekend, and we went to a baseball game, and like I got a beer there.
Yeah.
Bud Heavy, and it was $14. Right? Maybe it was $13, but regardless, $13, $14, too expensive for a Bebo. I was thinking like 8 or 9. But I'm a captive audience, you know. There, I'm gonna buy something. Probably, you go online, you see a lot of people trying to do like 9 dogs, 9 beers, and 9 innings. That's also like $900. Is there a place that you go where you're a captive audience, but you're gonna end up spending money there? Like, where do you go and become a captive audience member? And
I think that a sports event is a good example of this. Also, an airport, I think, is a great example of this because especially if like your flight gets delayed, it's like there's no amount of planning that you can do. Well, I guess there is. You can pack food or whatever, but like if your flight gets delayed for an extended period of time, it's like you're gonna have to like buy something there. But recently, you know, I want, yeah. Or sometimes like I was on one recently where they delayed it or canceled it, and they gave us like, they didn't give us a rebate. Like it wasn't like, here's your $30 food credit or whatever. But it was so because it wasn't long enough for that. That's like legally stipulated when they have to do that. But they did give out little snack packs. So it was just like whatever they give out on the planes. If you like order the like $11 snack pack that has like one thing of pretzels, one thing of gummy bears, whatever in it, which was nice.
Yeah, if you take a first class flight at like an off time, at like when it's like too late for breakfast, too early for lunch, or like too late for lunch, too early for dinner, They just give you one of those snack boxes.
And maybe not quite
like
first,
half-class
but
for sure.
Hey, at least maybe the wheels aren't falling off or the door isn't coming attached or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish the Boeing planes weren't fucking breaking because
it does
I like them
concern
better
me
than
a little
the
bit that
Airbus
like,
planes.
Out of all of the flights I've taken in my life, like 90% of them have been on Boeing planes and probably will continue to be. And yeah, I
You a
guess.
Southwest guy? They're notorious for having, or famous, or they're
But
known for
there's
having
not much
only
competition. And so
like
if
80,
Boeing turns out to
737.
be some big pile of garbage or whatever, it's like, okay, well, that's like most of the planes in existence we can't fly on anymore. I don't know. It is, which is
Airbus
interesting. I
not
mean, they
going
keep
good,
on
but
killing the
Boeing stock
competition,
also pretty good,
literally.
which is pretty funny. Yeah, they're killing. They're killing
Oh.
anyone who comes up and says a bad thing about them.
Yeah, we don't have any
I
whistles
love
to blow
Boeing
here.
planes.
And one other place I want to hear more about your baseball game with Trent if you have more to talk about there or his visit there. But I have another captive audience story. Me and my girlfriend Jill, we went to a concert this weekend, which is another one, and I think we paid more for our drinks than you did at your baseball game. I think so. Yeah, it was a lot.
Damn. All right. Well, I went to a bar after the game and spent $33 on beer. So
Yeah,
that's
it did.
That's probably kind of made the difference up. Probably.
Oh wow.
But yeah, we went to the Cubs game. They won 5-0. So here's another one. We showed up late to the game because we left a little bit late because I thought the game was at 1:40. It was at 1:20. So we got there and it was like
that
inning,
you missed that much in 20
inning-ish.
minutes?
0-0 though. It was still 0-0. Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing happened. It was 0-0. It was a 0-0 baseball game for the first like 3 or 4 innings. We get there, the Cubs score 4 or 3, and then they score 2 more in the next one, and then there's no more scoring for the rest of the game. 5-0, we see all of them. So I feel like I missed nothing. Right? And I hit all the tradition spots, Wrigley Field Cubs, like a historic team. We go crazy for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We get Harry Carey blasting in there. He's some old dude with glasses.
Does he have a restaurant?
Probably seen him, maybe. I don't know. And then
I think I've been to his restaurant. That's the only reason I remember his name.
Or he.
Yes. Yeah.
Harry Carey's.
Because.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he's got weird glasses, and he's like real known for being a Chicago guy. But he's got a restaurant, Harry Carey's. It's a restaurant group, in fact. And then when the Cubs win, everyone starts singing "Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are gonna win today." And then that just goes on for like 5 minutes. So we got to see all the tradition stuff. We won, but like we showed up late, and we stayed the rest of the time. Right. First question: how late can you show up to a baseball game? Second question that adds on to it: how early can you leave a baseball game? Because we often left Bama football games.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a big, sort of top down, and now that there's new staff in the clubhouse here, there was a big push to get people to stay for 4 quarters of football at Alabama. Which was really only important because Alabama used to beat people by like 50 points or whatever. I don't know if that's going to be true, but it's like, why would you stay if it's like nothing's going to happen and you're going to see a bunch of no-name people play?
You started the game at 11 o'clock. It's Alabama. It's hot as shit. I'm dying.
And so
I'm leaving.
It is my opinion
going home
that you are the person who purchased the tickets. And if you don't want to be there anymore, don't be there anymore. And also you can show up whenever you want. This might create an awkward situation. This might create an awkward situation though. If there's somebody else like sitting in your seat because you're showing up at like the 7th inning or whatever, and somebody else moved up. So that might be awkward and you might not be able to like elbow your way into your seats. But yeah, I think you paid the money. It is these sports teams' job to entertain you. And if they're not entertaining you enough for you to be there for all 9 innings, that's not your fault. That's their fault.
Word. So you can leave
That's what
anytime that you want to.
that's what I'm saying.
You're entitled to your own time. That's FK's official answer. If that's FKA the pod, known for
But of
cop outs
course,
and
you
nothing
as the
but
listener
here
are
on the show. But yeah,
required, obligated to listen to the whole episode and like and share and subscribe.
yeah. If you're
Yeah.
gonna leave early, you have to subscribe and tell a friend and ring a bell or something.
Was
You
that a
got to
cop
pay a
out?
penance,
I
and
didn't
that
think that was
penance
going to be a
is
cop
promotion.
out. Just
Uh, oh, you spent the money on the ticket. You're entitled to spend however much time you
yeah,
want there.
I'm
Your
not
money,
in
your
the
choice,
grand
your
scheme.
life. You do what you want with it. In the
Well,
6th inning, you're crazy. Why are you going there?
yeah.
Unless they're getting blown out, why are you at the game? Well, that's what I'm saying. You're leaving before the 7th inning stretch, before take me out to the ball game. Like if you're gonna leave, then I think that's okay. You do take
Yeah.
me out to the ball
Yeah.
game when your
Well,
team's getting crushed. You leave.
I've never really been super loyal to any sport thing. And so like, if I go to a Chicago Cubs game, like who cares? I don't care about the Cubs. I don't have any like sacred attachment to these people where it's like, "Oh, I need to be here to support the team." Cuz I don't care. These guys are supported enough. They get paid a lot of money. Whatever. And I used to, I guess, kind of be attached to Alabama football stuff, but then now we have a new coach. The Tennessee Titans have historically just been bad. Like, I don't. Yeah, so
None of us are in the
I
building
don't. I just don't
anymore,
really
so it doesn't
care.
really
So there's
matter.
nothing above and beyond me being entertained. I think at this point, um, but yeah, I mean, you are gonna miss some cool stuff if you get there too late or leave too early, and that's why they try to do this stuff, like when you got the 7th inning stretch and stuff like that. I guess.
And that's why the game starts at a certain time and ends at a certain time. Like that's
Okay,
the
so are
cool
you
stuff's supposed to
required
happen in
if you're
between
at
those time
a
periods.
sporting event of some kind and they have a show at halftime? Do you have to watch?
No,
Why?
you're not required. Mm-mm, not at all. Not a chance. Unless it's the Super Bowl. Unless it's the Super Bowl, you're allowed to leave. Or you're allowed to go to the bathroom at least minimum.
That's
Like
true.
bathroom, concession stand. Bad time to go because everyone's going then. Good time to go because no sport going on. It's just some
Somebody stacking
motherfucker
chairs.
throwing frisbees to their dog, or someone's doing gymnastics, or you get a bunch of morons doing there's the local kids fucking jump roping, Like, well,
Yeah,
unless it's the Super Bowl, you're good to
that's
not watch
interesting.
that shit.
Oh, I have another sports related question.
That's my take on it. Yeah,
So you said at the end of Mr.
it,
Yeah, you are of
I'm
the
Mr. Schools.
podcast at least. You're Harry Carey of the podcast with the glasses and the from Chicago. Um, how mean are you supposed to be to the other team?
As mean as
To the players or to the
possible,
fans or both?
I think. Okay,
Like, don't
both,
beat
but
anybody up.
also don't be that mean. Like it definitely return the same energy that you're gotten. Given if someone's
Yeah,
giving you some energy, respond with the same amount and same caliber. If it's a politeful ribbing, respond with the politeful ribbing. If they're being real mean and
yeah.
nasty, maybe don't. Maybe just ignore them. Maybe just kind
You
of
never want to
you know
escalate.
ignore them. Just kind of put a wall up. You know, but my
Yeah,
team is always the good team. I'm always a good guys, bad guys kind of person. Where that I could, if I can frame somehow whatever I'm supporting to be the good guys, which I always can, the other
yeah,
team's always the bad guys, and they're always wrong. So, at the beyond the good guys team, That's all I can say. But I
Yeah,
don't know,
it's
it's
not really
kind
that
of
serious. But
it's
I
whatever.
I
It's
always
a
heard that
sports game.
only a
It's
Sith
nothing.
deals in absolutes. Good guys, bad guys.
Absolutely, but good guys, bad guys. I don't know what to tell you. I got multiple
Mm.
colors of
Yeah.
lightsabers on my team. You only got one color.
Yeah.
You're the bad guy.
There's only one black
That's
lightsaber.
how
If there were
it
more than
works.
one black
You
lightsaber, they
got
would
one
have some
color,
reds and
bad
some
guy.
blacks, I'm sure, in the classic Darth Vader color scheme.
In fact, it's not even a lightsaber. It's a dark saber, and I don't even know how that works, right? But speaking of the dark saber, I watched a movie with one of the holders of the dark saber this past weekend. Of course, dark saber didn't exist when this movie originally came out
Yeah.
25 years
Mhm.
ago. I'm talking about the Phantom Menace. Boop, 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 that one,
Yeah.
Darth Maul, red guy,
And I
two
heard that
lightsabers in the same lightsaber.
when he's holding the
You
dark
know
saber, he
that scene's
loses the
really good.
Darth title. He gets downgraded to just regular Maul in the cartoons. Is what I heard. Yeah,
Mm.
he's just Maul.
Oh, regular Maul. That's his name now. It's regular Maul.
He's kind of, I don't know. The double sided lightsaber is pretty cool.
Got his
So
strip.
yeah,
Double-sided lightsaber is pretty cool. I don't know. There's tons of Jedi's rocking around, when Maul or regular Maul or Darth Maul or Strip Maul are all coming back to life. You know, they're getting the little spider
yeah.
legs on. There's so many people with lightsabers at that time. Grievous has got like 9 of them.
It is
You,
pretty
you could
crazy
probably get a
considering,
regular
like,
lightsaber
I'm
at that
not
point.
all that deep into the Star Wars lore. I've seen the movie. I tried to, in fact, watch some of the cartoons, but then I was like, I'm just kind of sitting here watching cartoons. But
Yeah, who would do
but
that shit?
it did, it seems like in the original films, there's like it's such a big deal when Luke Skywalker gets his lightsaber from Obi-Wan Kenobi. But there would just be a bunch of lightsabers hanging around in like thrift stores and stuff. Like you're going to the pawn shop and there are a bunch of lightsabers from dead Jedi that are just hanging around there.
Well, they probably did a bunch of
Yeah.
like lightsaber burnings, like they were doing with books. Like, so everything's on like a little data scroll
The
thing
Sith
or those weird
holocron.
little walkie-talkie thingies they had. You know, yeah, they just had to start stacking up lightsabers and they lit that shit on fire for some symbolism. Once they start getting that's what they're all about. They're all about symbolism and shit. I don't know, but the movie's still good.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, movie still it's exactly the same movie I think as it came out
Yeah.
at least 15 years ago. 25 years ago, probably a different movie than it was 15 years ago. But I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it is. Definitely not that good. But Duel of Fates, still really good
Yeah.
song. That's
Yeah.
the boop 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 song. So I'd see it for that. This is pod racing. I liked it a lot. Definitely
Yeah.
looks pretty bad in some spots. Like I didn't realize the droids look really bad. They look better in the show, which is tough. That show is all cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like they had. I didn't realize how much political shit was going on at that whole time. Like in the first movie, Palpatine really just kind of fleeces the whole space government. Really pulls some Julius Caesar shit that I just wasn't picking up on when I was a child at all. No fucking way. All right, word.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Put
it's
that in for me for later.
I think that was one of the things that people were like not fans of, like compared to the original ones, was like, oh, so you're telling me that all of this happened because there's some like there are people who are upset with taxes and there's a Senate and it's like just a very like kind of boring setup where it's not just like, it's quiet, the takeover or whatever until they start shooting Jedis and stuff like that. Yeah, till they go Order
Until they go
66,
mask
mask
off.
off. Let's kill all these people. Which was, maybe shouldn't have been as successful as it was. You would think that these Jedi would be better at like fighting like three of these clone dudes, considering it's like they're trained to be warriors and like, I guess they weren't really killing stuff. They were doing boring Senate stuff for a long time. So
Yeah, they had some bloat. They had to thin the crop out. They had to do some layoffs to really thin their numbers down and do some cost cutting. Really, so they're kind of figured it out. I think Palpatine had it down. It's like we're gonna rock with 2 people the whole time.
They're gonna be really
2
cool
people
though.
Good enough.
These
2
2
will do it.
people, really
And
cool.
then
Spikes coming out of the head.
oh, absolutely, it'd be super cool. We're gonna old guy with the crooked lightsaber.
Yeah.
The hero of the story. Real cool. Dude's gonna have one that's got looks really heavy, but it's not heavy because he's shooting light. So it's just kind of weird that it would pretend
light
to be
is
heavy.
historically not actually that heavy,
but,
I would say.
No,
Yeah.
pretty light, I would say. But I don't know. It's kind of cool. People rewatch Game of Thrones, oh, I didn't notice that little nuance. And I'm not saying George Lucas is George R.R. Martin, but there was some cool stuff. Oh, I didn't realize they were foreshadowing that he's the bad guy the whole time. And maybe adults watching this movie were oh, he's the bad guy the whole time. But I didn't know he was the bad guy until the end.
He's been there the whole time.
That's the bad guy. Holy shit, that's him. He did it.
Also, just I know we're jumping ahead here. I don't want to give too much about Darth Vader's true identity away. But that dude's he's half robot. I feel like people don't talk about that enough.
And he's probably still had more midichlorians than some of these chunks coming up now. You know what? Ray probably has he's bringing balance to the force, and I don't know what she's doing, but she doesn't have that many midichlorians. Okay, there's no way anyone has as many midichlorians as Anakin Skywalker, son of Shmi, of Tatooine, whatever have.
I would like to see Rey, Finn, even Yoda. I'd like to see them pod race.
Oh, Dameron.
I don't think they could do it. I don't think they could. And this is people don't talk enough about Anakin Skywalker. He's a multi-sport athlete, right? He can do the force choke. He can also do the pod race. He can also fix a droid really well. He fixed up a couple of them that were in every movie. Yeah.
He made one. Facts. He made one that's in every movie. Made one with a heroic sacrifice, What has Finn done? Ran away a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what he does. He runs away from things. What does Luke do? Lose a hand? Anakin lost all of his hands.
Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson, pretty tight. He's in one movie. That's it. I don't think he could. He was out there betting on kids pod racing. He wasn't in the thick of it.
Yeah, he was a gambling addict. Anakin probably would have freed himself and his mom if he was a Qui-Gon Jinn split.
Yeah,
he would have forced out another dice.
I mean, maybe he should have been, instead of focusing on building droids or whatever, maybe he should have been building a pod thing the whole time. Maybe he was.
Maybe he should have been building a gun to kill Watto. And, I don't know, stop being a slave. That's what I would be doing. You're building a robot. I don't know, to help your mom with her slave work. Why don't
this
you build
is why Kanye West he didn't like the first Star Wars movie. He hated it.
Kanye West hated Watto though, also, which is crazy.
Hey,
because Watto is a stereotype. That movie's full of stereotypes. The Newt Gunray, those dudes are bad actors. Those green, the gray people.
What they're called.
That's just really tough to watch. They're doing some
Newt Gunray. Well, he's a separatist, of course, but he's also a Neimoidian.
Yeah. The Neimoidians have tough character actors. I don't know if it's probably a director's fault to that they're doing really bad canned Chinese shit. But man, it's tough. They can't speak fluent English, and they do a pretty good job later on where you can still understand what the aliens are saying. They got fluent speakers of English in there.
Yeah, I don't think that
But
Newt
hey, it
Gunray
is what it is. That's
was
the
quite
directors. That's what
prepared
they
for
did.
his role. He just wanted to be, selling. I don't know. They were anti-tax. These people. That's all I know. So
Yeah, they wanted to be moving freight, moving shit, collecting money, fundraising, as they like to do. Speaking of liking to do fundraising, and the
good
future,
transition.
the Met Gala happened 2 days ago,
And some of the outfits
maybe 3 days ago. Happened this
from
week,
Star Wars
and people are
wouldn't
talking
be that
about
out
it.
of place. I have to
Mhm.
say.
What's the theme this year? I think this year might have been like woodland nymph themed because I've seen a lot of people coming in with woodland nymph shit. Like Alexander Daddario had one. It had a nymph, woodland nymph thing. Garden of Time was the dress code, which
It was based on
go
a
figure whatever
short
that is.
story, apparently, by some guy named J.G. Ballard. That's good.
H said 7 cash now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this short story is about. This missed me. As someone who likes to read stuff, this is not one that hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have claimed to read
This
every book
person on
ever.
Reddit says, I just
This.
finished reading it, and wow, what a strange but fantastic little story. It did an incredible job of creating this looming sense of existential dread in just a few short pages. They say, I think that this is an ironic choice of theme, because it's about, this is like wealthy people and stuff who are apparently overrun by the working class in this short story. So
Hmm. A real
shout out to
real
Carl.
Marxist tale. Shout out to the the proletariat. Yeah. But speaking of shout out to my main girl Nicole Kidman, who's in front of every AMC movie. She showed up in like this reverse um, Cruella
Yeah.
Deville type fit. A lot of this stuff is just really weird. I don't know. We
Yeah.
usually talk about this. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind
Well,
of
we're
threw
a
it on here because
fashion
we always talk about
podcast
it and it's
partly. So
topical. Could throw it in here. Gwendolyn Christie's in there. Yeah, we've been one. We talked about fashion a few times. Yeah, Lana Del Rey in like a nymph thing. Alexander
yeah.
Daddario in a nymph thing.
Yeah.
Zendaya had
I
a
do
couple
want to
different
point out that, yeah,
costumes
Zendaya is
that
so
she
hot
was
right now
wearing.
from that Challengers movie,
So hot right
which is
now.
about churros and tennis, and Dune also. Um, I
And
asked my
Dune.
girlfriend, she was like, "Oh, I did not like her outfit," and this is before I'd seen the picture. And I said, "What was she dressed like?" And then my girlfriend said she was dressed like the Corpse Bride. Which in one of the outfits she's got like some eye makeup that makes her look sickly and stuff. And there was somebody else who had like a
Mhm.
sickly sort of look to him. Um, so again, I haven't read the short story. I wonder if that was actually based on the short story or what. But some sickly looking people out there.
The eyeshadow is good. It's like the smoky eye part good. There's some like real dark eyeliner or something not working
Yes. Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
She does look
Um,
kind of like a zombie. So maybe that's what she was going for. Emily Ratajkowski, another woodland nymph outfit,
did you see
very on brand for
Ed
her to wear
Sheeran's
what she
outfit?
wore. Shout out Michelle Yeoh, looking good. No, but I did see a clip of Dwayne Wade reacting to Ed
It wasn't
Sheeran, so
that crazy.
this
It
must
just
have been
looked
a
like he
crazy
rented
outfit.
a tuxedo, like in a bad one. It's like baby blue,
Huh.
but like
Oh,
not in a cool way.
okay.
It just seems kind of ill fitting and weird. Um, so there's that. Uh, yeah, I think you're
Greta
justified in
Gerwig had a
saying that.
lame fit. I'm gonna say
Um,
pretty lame. Dua Lipa had a good looking fit, but that's because she's Dua Lipa. Apparently, her album that just came out is kind of average. So just like the other big pop album that came out this year, Taylor Swift's one,
Yeah.
kind of whatever. From what I understand,
You can go back and listen
try
to
to
our
get the
episode
Swiftie,
like 4
try to get the
episodes
Swiftie hate for
ago
the algorithm
where
this time.
it wasn't actually released, but we did talk about it. So
Fortnite. Lily James is still around. That's crazy. Glee's a crazy show. Kiki Palmer was there. Everyone was there. They all had goofy stuff on. I don't know. Some people were talking about the fashion
Yeah.
Super Bowl. It
And
doesn't really work
also,
that great for, I guess,
when you're
for a
going through this, it's
audio
difficult
podcast,
because
but
like I don't know who some
we're
of these
getting in
people
there.
are,
Zombies.
like, or why they're important. So it's hard. I guess I think
Like
he's
OBJ was
on
there.
the
He's cool.
Dolphins now. So shout out to the Miami Dolphins.
Yes, he is.
Like this person, Irina Shayk. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
perhaps
Kanye West's wife, I think.
You know,
His new wife. I guess she's a model. And then Sienna Miller. I don't know who that is. I do know who Dua Lipa is, but yeah, there are a lot of people who I don't really know who they are, and like I don't really care that they're dressed weird, you know.
yeah, and they pay a bunch of money so people talk about.
They're
them.
getting a lot of ROI from us talking about them. A lot of spins on their name. So,
dude, Aquafina was wearing H&M. All right, if you're wearing H&M to the MetGala, that's kind of Aquafina's for the people. If you're wearing H&M, there you're wearing normal fast fashion. Normal
it's probably specially made for her for this, and you can't buy it. And if you could buy it, it would be $50,000 or whatever. But
avid listener of FKAthepod,
as far as I know,
Twigs had a real
interesting
interesting
person.
outfit as well. Yeah, she looks like a real interesting person. That's the way to put it.
Yeah, yeah. This is interesting, for sure. So,
yeah, let's do something else, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of famous people and being a captive audience, I went to a concert last week, Sunday night.
Okay.
Me and my girlfriend Jill, we hitched up the wagon, travel all the way to Birmingham,
Sunday?
to to see a concert. So the venue is called the Red Mountain Amphitheater or Oak Mountain Amphitheater. I'm not really actually sure which one it was. Which is a venue that neither of us had been to before.
Okay.
And it was a bad venue. Let me start there. So you get there ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your phone is like, okay, it's like 300 feet away. And you're like, okay, what do you mean it's 300 feet away? Like I'm on this like 4-lane street next to a Hooters. And then it's like you pull into the Hooters parking lot because it's full of people, and you're like, okay, maybe Hooters is like letting people park here, charging people to park here. And then there's a dude in the parking lot who's like shaking his head no at us. Like it's like, okay, fine, I'm not going to park here. And then you drive across the street to try to park at this Exxon, which has a parking lot full of people, and it has a sign outside that says they're charging $10 to park at the Exxon. And then some lady comes up to you and she's like, oh no, we're full. You're going to have to park somewhere else. And then so you cross the street to go to like the self-storage place, which has a big, like, you know, those like construction signs on the road with like, it's just got a bunch of like orange light bulbs that can light up in various patterns. It says free parking. So you drive in there and it's a bunch of like, yeah, it's very much like a no room in the inn situation.
No room to park.
And so we loop around this this self-storage parking lot for a while until we eventually find this spot. Like it was actually a great spot that we found, but I kind of had to like park like right next to a tree, and like we caught branches inside our car and stuff. But it was good because like you could drive into a different parking lot to get out, because we were like, it's gonna be a nightmare to get out of here because everybody who's going to this concert is gonna park here. So anyway, park the car, and by this point I was like, okay, we need to be there at 7:30. The thing is listed at start at 7:30, and we're not there till like 8. And I was like, oh no, we're gonna miss half the concert. Well, you can be like an hour and a
How many
half late
minutes
to a
late can you be
concert
to a
because you're not
concert?
going to miss any of the actual concert. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, you're gonna miss the
So
opening
so
act
anyway, we
with some
park the
fucking
car,
scrub
we
that you
walk on
never
over
heard
to the
of.
place, and in order to get to the place from where we parked, there's this nice little path that they have cut in between two different parking lots, in between the parking lot of the Hooters and the parking lot of a Mexican restaurant called Dos Pesos. The
Mm, that's two
the concert's
pesos.
also on Cinco de
Over
Mayo.
2 pounds if you really want to get there.
But anyway, you have to walk on
That's
this weird path in between the Hooters and this Mexican restaurant, and then like you have to walk over this weird little bridge. And I was like, this is so janky. But then on the other side of the bridge, it turns out you just kind of go into this parking lot. It's like, okay, this venue had a parking lot the whole time. It's just that the navigation wasn't very good. In order to get to the parking lot, you can't actually get there from the main road. You have to do a whole bunch of shit to get there. And then anyway, there's a line from the entrance spilling out into the parking lot, and hey, yeah, I know I've really buried the lead here, and you can
Who are
see
you
the
even going to
vans
see?
from the performer on the other side of a chain link fence. So I was like, oh my god, right over there is where the van that drove Hosier, the yes, the popular Irish artist.
Oh,
He's probably
Hosier!
sitting in that van right now. That's like a chain link fence and like 10 feet away from us. In the same, he is. He's drinking his whiskey neat.
He's drinking his whiskey neat.
So anyway, we wait a while in the parking lot in order to get into the venue. You get into the venue, and immediately, okay, you're met with like 3 different lines. One of them is for the bathroom. One of them is for the merch tent, which is like 5 feet into the venue. And the other one is for the concession stand, which is also like 5 feet into the venue. So immediately after getting out of the line to get in, there are 3 different lines you can choose from, and none of them are getting you to your seat. So anyway, we wait in one line to get a drink, and then it turns out at this bar you can only get like beer, and so we had to go to a different bar as well to get a mixed drink. And anyway, I paid like $12 for the beer. I think I paid $14 for the mixed drink. Then I paid $7 for a pretzel. And all of this, no cheese cup, just pretzel. I didn't have enough hands for the cheese cup,
Cheese
man.
cup
It
or
was
no cheese
crazy
cup?
because carrying all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so then we sit down and we're like, okay, we're here an hour late, but it still hasn't started yet. Anyway, there was an opener. The opener was a lady named Allison
Was there
Russell,
even an opener?
who
I don't even
Hosier
know.
has a song with. It's called Wildflower and Barley, I think, which they played together. And it's pretty good. It's not one that I had heard before, but it was pretty good. And she was pretty good. We didn't see her, just in that one song that she was on. So anyway, yeah.
4-time Grammy
Yeah,
nominated
so she's legit,
artist,
and the song
Allison
she had with
Russell.
Hosier was pretty good. I didn't see her opening set, but so anyway, I talked a lot about this. It takes us a long time to get to our seat because, as I said, we'd never been to this venue before. Our tickets were pretty high up and far back, so we had to walk a ways up there. We were in section 303 CC, and so we first get to section 3, and it's at like A, and then we're like, okay, it's only 3 back, and then that's just regular C. We have to go all the way up to
Yeah, no, bro, you're
yeah,
past
yeah. So
AA and BB.
we go
Like,
way up far
you're
back.
there.
We get
You're
to our
in it. You're up
seats.
there.
It's fine. I'm like, Jill, would you like to sit in this one or this one? Because we got 2 seats. Either way, you're sitting by some rando, so it doesn't really matter. But she picks the one on the left. Okay. Hosier comes out. He starts to play his concert, and then the first couple songs are bad. I'm willing to say that. I
Like
don't think they're
they're
good
not good
Hosier songs. He
Hosier
probably
songs, or
did them
Hosier didn't do
fine,
them
but
well in that
I think
moment.
it's from his newest album. It has some weird like Germanic name. I think it's from the Unreal Unearth. It's called like
Unreal,
Die
Unearthed, Unheard.
Blad or something. I think, but anyway, so the songs are, yeah. He played them back to back.
Okay. About DeSelby Part 1 or DeSelby Part 2? He started off with disc 2 songs? Tough.
Yeah. So
He's
he
starting off
played
on disc
DeSelby
2.
1,
Attention
DeSelby
CD
2.
listeners,
And then my girlfriend Jill, she taps my arm and is like, "Can we switch seats or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so we switched seats. And the reason that she wanted to switch seats is because, first of all, we're sitting basically at the very back, right? We're going to be able to sit through the concert, which is going to be nice. And I guess our newest hot take that we can add here is that you should sit down at a concert. You should. It's going to be more enjoyable for you to sit down. You might want to stand up for a couple songs, but you're not going to want to stand up for 2 hours or whatever. You're just not.
you gotta do what the crowd's doing. Unfortunately, you don't get a choice. If everyone is standing in front of you, you must also stand.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you paid
But
you
anyway,
paid money
so
to see someone's butt.
actually the people, like the 2 rows in front of us, are both sitting down.
Not a good way.
But the people who are sitting beside Jill, it's a young lady, and she is standing up, and she's also doing a variety of like strange dance moves that basically involve her like putting her arm forward and like moving it sideways like this. Uh,
Only sideways, and never at too like acute of an angle, right? It's always or 278. It's always like a nice
so you know, like
level
the Atlanta Braves, maybe
side
also
to
the
side
Florida
type
State
thing.
Seminoles, they have like a chop, like a tomahawk chop, right? So translate that sideways a little bit, right?
Okay.
And you've got like a weird arm movement situation that you got here. So basically, it's like if you have your arm straight out to the side and then you move it forward and
It's a
curve your
double.
elbow a little bit, it's like a little bit of that.
But you're raising your arm up. There's like a range you just can't hit. Like
Yeah.
right
No,
here,
it's
that
not
like you just can't
like a
hit when you're
Nazi
doing that kind
thing,
of move.
as far as I know. But anyway,
But Jill could
no,
not see
she
where
was
she
like
was sitting before
she was
she
worried
actually
about
moved.
the potential of
Oh,
this crazy arm to like karate chop her in the throat situation. So I was like, yeah, we can switch. And
oh,
then
give a little
like,
jugular
I
chop.
am,
Get
I'm not like, you know, yeah.
a
I'm
big
not like
burly
Dwayne the
man,
Rock Johnson or whatever, but I'm
strong
like, yeah,
guy.
like
You know,
I will get there. I'll post up with my shoulders and my knees a
yeah,
little
you're not
bit to keep
staying
this
in
person
pockets.
out of my space, and I think that'll be fine. Um. So anyway,
The
we
athletic
switched seats,
position.
and that was just a really strange situation, and we don't know where she learned that dance move, but it was constant. It was like no other dance move. I don't know if like maybe Hosier did this in a music video or what, but um, so after he played the first 2 songs, which having given it a couple days of thought, were bad and not good songs to start the show with. He starts, yeah, he did play "Take Me to Church," and he
Then he
played
took you to
various other
church.
good ones. And after we switched seats, it was a good scenario, because I was able to like hold my ground.
Maybe you're just harshing the vibe up a little bit.
Yeah,
Like you just had to you mess up the feng shui
yeah.
once you and your girlfriend
So
just
I
switched
only
spots.
have,
It was all good,
I guess I've talked
all
about this for
clean.
like 20 minutes now or whatever, but like, I haven't even talked about the main stuff I wanted.
Hey,
So anyway, at this point,
that's
we've
what we
made it
do
into the
here.
concert,
That's what
right?
we
We
do
sat
here.
down, we switched seats, we listened to 2 bad songs.
You're
Okay.
there. You
Yeah,
heard
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
Crazy
then
bitches
he
dancing real
plays the
bad.
Jackie and
You
Wilson
know,
song, whatever that one's called, and we're like, okay, the crowd is a little better now, right? They might be singing along, but at least this is a song we know. We switch seats, that things are going well. And then Hosier, I guess, is the type of person, he comes out, he starts to play immediately. He doesn't come out and say, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And so finally, we get to hear his beautiful Irish voice, and he says, "Hello, everybody," in his Irish accent. And this concert is taking place in Birmingham, and so I was really excited for him to say Birmingham and how he would pronounce that. But in fact, the address of this venue is not in Birmingham.
Birmingham.
It's in a place called Pelham, Alabama, which is like, south. like 10 minutes south of Birmingham. And so he says, "Good evening, Pelham." Pelham. Good evening, Pelham. So I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight. And so he said Pelham a couple times, like, and it just was kind of funny because I like, what are the chances that did he think he was going to be in Pelham? Right? He's been in LA, he's been in New York, he's been playing in all these big places. Now he's in Pelham. So that was good. And then, he's playing songs that we're familiar with, and the DeSelby song is not good. I'm sorry, Hosier. But he plays all the hits. He plays Cherry Wine. And when he plays the Cherry Wine song, he's just got an acoustic guitar. He sends all the band off stage. It's just him. And it's like, it's beautiful. Huh? It's a song that he has.
What's Cherry Wine? It's his song. Okay, I'm not seeing it on the. Okay, I'll come clean here. I know 2-3 Hosier songs. Yeah. The one, the Too Sweet one that was real popular a little bit ago. Take Me to Church because I was everywhere. And this other one, that little clip that was on TikTok.
He didn't play that one, but I think you would be surprised at how many Hosier songs you do actually know if you listen to them. But
I just remember that back in the day, no one knew who the fuck he was, and then he won a Grammy, and everyone was like, "Who the fuck is Hosier?" And then everyone's like, "Hosier deserved that Grammy."
Well, the other thing is he played the Too Sweet, the song from TikTok, which apparently he said this at the concert. That's his first number one song ever. And I would have assumed that Take Me to Church and a bunch of other stuff he'd done had been number one, but it wasn't. And this song is number one, I think, just because it's popular on TikTok. It's a good song. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. It's the only reason I know what it is. I wouldn't be listening to Hosier if it wasn't for that song. It came on, and like the 15 minutes I allocate to TikTok a day, I heard that song and I added it. That didn't happen. I would have been listening to songs like this week's recommendation, Butterfly Knife, which is just straight up regular hyperpop song. It's like every hyperpop song I've ever heard, but I like it. So that's the one.
And if it wasn't for Hosier, I would still probably be listening to BBL Drizzy. Well, I don't know, but that's what we're going to talk about on the next episode, right?
Oh, good thing last week I said I fucking don't care about it.
No, I'm kidding. I don't have any takes on this. That's where other than I don't know. I don't really have any takes on this.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile, certified don't give a shit about that at all. It's everyone else talked about it. If you want to hear it, listen to someone else say it, because you probably already did.
There's probably gonna be new ones by the time this is released.
Songs came out the weekend. Put them in the
Does
grave.
it matter? Do you think?
No, there's anything else
in the grand scheme? Are people going to stop listening to Hotline Bling?
Yeah, here's the thing. He didn't say that he's a Nazi.
So are you comparing him to Kanye West? Is that what's happening?
Right now?
Okay.
He didn't say that he loves Hitler. Yeah, as rappers that have recently fallen from grace, Drake's not that bad. And Chris Brown's still around and putting out bangers, and he beat a woman. So, like, both of them better than Kanye,
I mean,
who just loves,
that is a crazy take
the Nazis.
There.
It's a hard sell, dude. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish with that.
Oh, man.
We know what we're trying to accomplish on the podcast, and that is for you to like and review us everywhere and contact us at FKAthepod on every social media platform you can think of that you're on. We know you're not on Truth Social. We know you're not on
Mastodon.
Fucking some of the other ones, Vellum or whatever. I think we're not there.
Foursquare.
But we're on X.
We're on LinkedIn.
We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. And we're on. Sure. Yeah. Not yet, but we could be. We're close to being LinkedIn influencers. I love a good LinkedIn kudos to you. So give us a kudos to you on on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And let us know.
Please clap.
Anything, really. Just talk to us, please. We'd love to hear you. Please clap. Dude, RFK Jr.'s got a worm in his brain, and he still thinks people are going to vote for him. That's how we're ending this one. Got a worm in his brain. That's his most recent thing. We're notoriously haters of RFK Jr. This last minute and a half is going to be like medium vibes only. RFK Jr. is the worst candidate of the three that are out there. That's saying a lot. This dude, because Trump's funny, RFK is hard to listen to, bad orator, and is crazy. Like, he's like, the Jews created COVID so that they wouldn't be affected by it. And he says, I had a brain worm, so my brain doesn't work as good.
Here's the title of an article
that we're going to
on
vote
CNN.
for him for president.
RFK Jr. says, worm got into my brain and ate a portion of it. Don't admit that. Is that the worm talking?
What are you doing? That's what it better be. That's almost as bad as I shot my dog. They elect me as vice president. Somehow Kamala Harris not the worst vice president candidate we have coming up, because this one lady shot her dog
of the whole.
And was happy.
Would you still love me if I was a worm? Would you still vote for me for president if I was a worm?
I had a break.
No. That's Kristi Noem, who is the governor of South Dakota. No. That's the story there. But yeah, that's crazy too. And these are both examples of something where you don't need to come out and say this. Nobody's been like, I'm a little suspicious that RFK Jr. is actually a worm.
Why would you say that? Why would you do that? That's just like, I already hated you enough. Don't give me easy ammo, you know? Oh yeah, remember, register to vote, I guess.
Welcome to the pod where we spill the tea. FKA, yeah, that's me. We're gonna dive deep into the topics you need. Sit back, relax, and let's plant the seed. On pop culture to politics, we'll discuss it all. No filter, no censors, just having a ball. Get ready for the laughs and the deep conversations. FKAthepod, your ultimate destination. FKAthepod, bringing you the real, no sugarcoating, just raw appeal. Join us every week. Tune in and see FKAthepod, where we set you free.